All right, let's just do a quick review for the hyperbola. Remember, you can tell that this is a hyperbola because both the x and the y are squared and you're subtracting. So make sure when you do this that the first term is positive and then you subtract and make sure it's set equal to 1. Okay, this is very much like the ellipse. You can tell just by looking what the center is. It's always what makes it 0. Make sure you look at the x first, but it's still 0, 0. So let's fill this in. This is 0, 0. Come over here to your graph and let's plot your center. Okay, same difference. Under the y is a 9, so whatever that is, just take the square root of it, which is 3, and that tells you how far to move up and down. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, under the x is a 49. The square root of 49 is 7. So let me go ahead and do this like I did in class. We're going to go back and forth 7. Here I went up and down 3. So I like to kind of show it like that. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Now, through these points, you need to draw your box, your little rectangle. So I'm going to do that. Take your time and make sure you've got a nice box. Draw your asymptotes. Make sure they go through the center and the corners of your box. So it should look something like this. Okay, everybody should be able to get that far. All right. Now here's the tough part. You have got to figure out by looking at your equation if your hyperbola opens up and down or to the left and the right. And the way you decide is by what comes first. Your y comes first, so it needs to open up and down. So this point on your box is your vertex. So we're going to do this. Remember, those are an asymptote, so it should look something like that. Do the same thing down here. So it should look something like that. Okay? These points right here are your vertices. So notice that's the point 0, 1, 2, 3. So you have 0, 3, and 0, negative 3. You have two vertices. All right? Notice I also, I start from the center, and I could see that since the y came first, my vertices, I'm going to be going up and down, and so I added 3 to my y value one time, and one time I subtracted 3, so you can see that right there. Now, to find your foci, remember you're going to have to use this lovely equation right here. You have to add. It's always the opposite. Remember, on a hyperbola you subtract, so to find your foci, you're going to add. This is your a squared and your b squared, so just add those together. What was that? Oh, 9 and 49. Going to make you guys dizzy. See if I can clear that up just a little bit. So c squared is what? 58. So c is going to be the square root of 58. And let's see, I'm trying to think if a perfect square goes in there. 4 doesn't, 9 doesn't. So I think we're okay. So let's just leave it like that. The square root of 58, okay, is about, I don't know. Don't have my calculator with me, but I'm going to guess it's about 7.5. You figure it out, okay? So what I'm going to do is figure out what it is, hit your calculator and get a decimal, but you're going to go up that value from the center. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, somewhere between 7 and 8. I'm going to do the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's going to be somewhere in here. Those right there, that's your foci. We always know they have to sit inside the curve, okay? So when you get ready to write that, notice I moved up a distance of the square root of 15. Or not 15, the square root of 58. So I would write that of 0. You can just be lazy. One time you went up the square root of 58, and one time you went down the square root of 58. Now the only other thing are your asymptotes. Remember, an asymptote is always written like this. Okay? All you have to do is find your slope. That's it. And remember, slope is defined as rise over run. Think how much you went up and how much you ran. And you can see it right here. You went up 3, you ran 7. So your slope is 3 over 7. So my asymptote is just y equals 3 over 7x. That right there is the equation of that line. There's two lines. One time it has positive slope, So that's why I have the little positive sign. One time it's the same asymptotic, but it has a negative slope, and that's why I have the little negative sign right there. Okay? Now, let's try another one. Let's try one that's not centered at 0. And actually, I think this is the one I did in class. So, I'm trying to see if I want to do a different one real quick. How about if we do number 36 real quick? I'll just write that one out. It'll take me about a second. I had that one ready, and I'm thinking, you know what? You should already have that one as an example in your book. So, 36 is y minus 4 squared. The only thing I don't like about this one is that it's opening, you can tell because the y comes first, it's also opening up and down. And I would have liked to done one that's opening side to side. But hopefully we can do one of those here in just a minute. Now, you're going to have a problem like each of these. This one is not centered at 0, 0. Make sure, be really careful. Some of you are going to be really tempted to tell me the center is 4, negative 5. That would be wrong. Your x value has to come first. Your x value is negative 5, and then your y value, which is 4. Okay? So you're going to start with that. Let's graph that really quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Negative 5, 4 is somewhere right in there. That right there is your center. Okay? Now, from here, under the y is a 36. So that means I'm going to go up and down, whatever the square root of that is, which happens to be 6. 4, 5, 6. So come up here and go 6 from your center, then go down 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So right there. They should be in a nice straight line. Okay, a distance of 6. Left and right, a value of 4. So from your center, we're going to go over 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it looks like it's going to be about right there. 1, 2, 3, 4. About right here. Now, if that was an ellipse, you could just draw a nice little curve through this. But it's in a hyperbola because I'm subtracting. So we're going to do the rectangle through it. We'll do that real quick here. Make your diagonals. Remember, these diagonals are your asymptotes. They need to go through the center point and hit your corners. It gives you a great guideline. So it looks something like that. Now here's where you've got to decide, does it open, left and right or up and down? You can tell by what's listed first. Again, your y comes first, so it's going to be up or down. Up and down, like that. Okay, right here are your vertices. You can just tell by looking at your graph what your vertices are. Another way to do it, and this is probably my favorite way because my graphs are not just the best, take your center point, and I went up and down 6 on the y. See, it's under the y. So one time I'm going to add 6 to this, which is going to give me negative 5, 10. And one time I'm going to subtract 6. 4 minus 6 is a negative 2. And you can see that's right where I'm at. Negative 5, negative 2, right there. So that's kind of cool. Okay? Then you have to find your foci. You're going to use this lovely equation. Make sure you add on a hyperbola. It's the opposite of what that sign is right there. So just add these two together. 36 plus, what was that, 16? Yep. Sorry, trying to hurry before my time runs out. That would be 30, 40, what, 52? So c squared equals 52. So c is going to be the square root of 52. I think there's a perfect square in there. 4 goes in there, I believe. Just a minute. Don't have a calculator here. 4 goes in there once, what, 13 times? So this would actually be 2 square roots of 13. That would be your c value. It's kind of hard to see right there, okay? So that means I need to move up and down that distance from the center. Now the square root of 52 is a little bit more than 7, okay? I already went up 6 right here, so I need to go just a little bit more than 7. So there would be the foci there. Here I went down 6. I want to go down 7, so it's going to be somewhere right in there. Okay? To get my exact value, I'm going to take my center, which was negative 5, 4. And since I went up and down, I'm going to add this value to my y value. There's my y value. So I'm going to add this value, 2 square roots of 13, to the y value. I'm going to add it one time, and then one time I would subtract it. So that's how you would write your foci, right there. Weird looking, I know. Okay, the last thing is the asymptotes. Just start with this loveliness right here. Make sure you get both plus and minus. Your slope is rise over run. So remember you went up 6 and you ran 4. So your slope is going to be, 6 over 4, which by the way, when you reduce that, you get 3/2. So you're going to get plus or minus 3/2 x. Now you would be done if this went through 0, 0, but it doesn't. It goes through this crazy point up here. So instead of your y, you want to substitute in y minus 4. So I'm going to be like, okay, y minus 4. And instead of a boring x, it looks like you had an x plus 5. So we're going to substitute that in right there. The only thing, get your y by yourself. So, and you do not have to multiply all of this out. Just leave it just like that, but take that minus 4 to the other side so you would add 4. I'm good for you leaving it just like that. Okay? I'm going to do the rest of this review on another video.